Well, it's Valentine's Day, Eddie, and I suppose you'd be going in there where all of those chocolates are, and if you're the Trailblazers, the one thing you don't want to do is be overconfident. The Warriors are winless, but they're looking for their first win, so this is a team you want to hammer right at the outset of the ball game. One of the ways you do it is by being very aggressive at the defensive end. They struggle to score the ball. Don't give them anything to cheat, and in every game that P.J. Carlesimo has a team that's playing, rebounding is important. So you want to try to rebound the ball on them, run it out the other way, score quick and cheaply, frustrate this team, and get them another loss.
As mentioned earlier, second worst start in the history of this franchise, surpassed only by P.J.'s effort last year of 0-9 at the outset. And defending him to some extent, he was not left with a full coverage, that's for sure. They've got to really restructure this whole thing.
Defending him?
We've got to do a little something. I mean, he's having a problem right now, Stephen, that he's got a lot of players of likability, not the greatest. So he understands what Mike Dunleavy is going through and trying to find minutes for players. We talked to PJ about that.
Mike's got one of the most challenging problems you have in coaching when you have a roster with this much talent, and there's no way to keep people happy. It's impossible. You got to make some tough decisions, and people just have to be patient. You hate to say they got to wait for injuries, but you got to wait, you stay in shape, and when you get an opportunity, you take advantage of it.
Well, of course, the Blazers with the kind of depth and talent that PJ would love to have, as Damon Stoudemire will lead his troops back on the floor tonight. The Warriors have been stumbling, trying to find the right combination, and John Starks has certainly been up to the task, but they've had to make a little adjustment here and there, and they've changed their lineup tonight, Steve. And as we go to our Godfather's Pizza starting lineup, we'll see that the Warriors have taken little Muggsy Bogues out of the lineup and inserted Tony Delk, who had a nice game the last time out.
The Warriors are struggling to find a combination that works in an offensive unit that is having any kind of cohesiveness at all. And so every game you lose, the coach second guesses himself and makes an adjustment. You know, Delk is an offensive player as well as John Starks. Now they've got to find someone that's going to be a distributor. But remember, they like to play a control half-court game. It's up to the Trailblazers to get them out of it. Muggsy Bogues is a guy that would help Portland in terms of creating tempo because he's best when he's up and down.
And right now, they say their number one need is a point guard. So Muggsy, trying to get the thing going and set a tempo for him, has had a little bit of a problem. Now Tony Delk, who was complaining about minutes and not getting enough before the last game, is going to be given the mantle tonight to see what he can do with it. This is a team that does not score a lot of points. They're averaging just a little over 83 a game, and they're trying to find a way to generate some offense as well.
But that is a typical P.J. attitude. As Ryder, who was not missing a shot in warm-up, starts right where he left off against the Indiana Pacers.
Got 26 points and 11 rebounds in that game against Indiana. Here's Tony Delk, who played at the University of Kentucky. Works on Damon Stoudemire. And Caffey trying to work deep on Grant. There's an illegal defensive call against the Trailblazers.
Walt Williams is the guy that was sucking back in, but I think against a guy like Jason Caffey, Dampier, and Chris Mills, not a post-up player, but guys that they have playing in the post, make them prove to you that they're going to be able to warrant a double team. Otherwise, play everybody heads up and make this team take tough shots.
6'7", 6'8", 6'11", they go across the front line. Arvydas on the deflection, 16 seconds on the clock coming back in. You see all the information you want right there in the lower right-hand portion of your screen. We call it Blazer Box. Starks, he loves to ring them deep. That time Ryder got out there, just hampered the shot a little. Caffey on the follow, and the rebound by Arvydas Sabonis. Sabonis averaging about 7 boards a game and almost 13 points a night. Damon Stoudemire, 17 points, and the third leading assist maker in the league at 8-7 again.
I'm trying to go with Ryder with the mismatch against
Ryder off to a good start. They posted him twice, Steve, and he looks like he's real comfortable down there tonight.
Well, he has a big advantage in terms of size and strength as Delk drives the middle and gets a foul against Brian Grant. And what Dunleavy is going to do is go to that until they make the Trailblazers go to something else.
Good idea. Delk at the line, averaging 6'8", 6.8 points per game. Rims in comes out. So the Blazers off to a 4-0 lead, and there is P.J. Carlesimo. And the second one, honeycombs and pops out. Sabonis will give it over to Damon.
He wanted to show he could do it twice. That's a good shooter.
Down to Bryant. Posting inside deep on Caffey. And it rims out, and the rebound foul is going to be called against J.R. Rider.
Rider, who had a big rebounding game against the Pacers, back in on the glass. This time he comes over the top of Starks, gets caught. So the Warriors will get a chance to score for the first time, maybe with this possession.
Well, interestingly enough, Steve, the Blazers last year used 32 different starting lineups. So far this year, Mike Dunleavy's been able to stay with the same one each of the games we played. Of course, we're still very early in the year. And so far, no injury problems. As Dampier comes back across the lane, left it all over, and gets them on the board. He's been complaining vociferously about not getting enough touches, as he says. They don't go to him enough, and so they're going to give him an opportunity, apparently. As Sabonis on the miss, deflected out of there, Grant, Williams, and Damon. And the Blazers have two more. Oh, it's 6-2 Portland.
What you want to do, and that's what you're trying to do right now, is speed up the game. Get someone else handling the ball that's not going to make a good decision. Get in a situation where you can force some turnovers and score quickly.
John Starks, who started his career here as an unrestricted free agent. Good move by Dampier coming across the lane. You go back to last year, Steve. Oh, that was Caffey, excuse me. You go back to last year when the Blazers won 3 of those 4 games. They actually dominated all of the games, and the one game they lost only by 4. Sabonis.
I just think that, you know, when Portland loses to teams that are below them, it's because they play down to their ability. And, you know, once they get it in their head that these are games not only that they want to win, but they want to win comfortably. Sabonis wheeling back in, surprises Dampier. Again, that's an angle that Sabonis seems to be able to get on all the centers. If he can get enough room to work, get the shot, get the foul, he gets his first free throw.
And it's an 8-4 Portland lead. Dampier, a 3-year man who started at Indiana from the University of Mississippi. Caffey on the crossover. A little bother pressure by the Blazers backcourt.
Now that takes them about 9 seconds. They have to work to get set up. So by the time they get into their set off, they're going to be around 7-6 seconds on the shot clock.
And Delk is forced to take the deep shot. Sabonis with another rebound. Arvydas clears to Damon. Blazers by 4. We're early. Just started. Stoudemire on the pullback. And nobody around the ball except Chris Mills. Mills, a 5-year guy from Arizona, 6'6", 216. Coming in, averaging 10 points a game. And Caffey again. Nice move on the back door. And another rebound by Arvydas Sabonis. So Sabonis switching over on Caffey that time, and the third rebound for Arvydas. Ryder says, clear out, I want to work on this guy. I got him deep. Nice strong move, and he'll be fouled, and he will go to the line.
It's an impossible matchup for John Starks. One, because this is the guy that plays like Shaq against small guards. He powers his way back into him. He makes him give ground, and if you give him any kind of opening, he just comes up and under, and he gets fouled on the way in. So if you're going to defend Ryder, you got to get him off the box and make him turn around and face the basket.
Ryder with 6, Blazers with 10. 7:58 to play here in the first quarter. And JR has got himself 7 points already. 11-7 Trailblazers.
The Trailblazers are getting the idea. Let's make the Warriors use up a lot of time getting the ball over. They don't have a great ball handler, someone that's going to blow by them off the dribble. And again, they'll be working against the shot clock once they get set up.
Another illegal defense called on the Trailblazers. And the technical foul will be shot. Mike Dunleavy making sure he's clear on it and telling his people what to do as now he's talking to Ryder. On the second illegal defensive call, you remember, you shoot the technical from this point on. Chris Mills at the line. Where are they getting confused here, Steve? You able to pick that up?
what they did was when players come together on crosses, you have to go across with that player. You just can't come together and pick the other guy up.
Mills, Tony Delk. Delk's got a size advantage over Damon Stoudemire on the post-up misses. And the second effort by the Warriors goes awry, and here comes Sabonis with another rebound. Damon down Broadway. Ryan with the open jump shot. No, and Ryder's got this one. Gives it over to Sabonis. Swings the ball back to Walt. Tried to ring the bell. Rebound, Brian Grant. Strong once, twice. Trampoline time. Williams with the foul line jumper. Good board work by the Portland Trail Blazers against a team that is really a good rebounding club. They were #1 in the league a year ago, Golden State.
A few times you're going to see the Warriors get a transition bucket cuffed by Jason Caffey in the break.
11-7. Blazers with 6:45 to play in the first quarter. Caffey with 4. Looked a little bit like the old Denver Nuggets offense, with Alex English busting down the line on the delay. Up ahead Starks. And a swing crowd tries to get active and in this one, and now the Warriors are within a pair.
The Warriors come back with back-to-back breaks. Rare. Portland didn't get back defensively, and again, that's one of the things that happens sometimes. Things are fairly easy for you to think the other team's just going to roll over.
Good block by Dampier on the reverse attempt by Sabonis. And Ryder on the miss. And here come the Warriors. Chris Mills, pretty good range. Stoudemire had it, lost it. Delk gets it back. And the 6'2 Delk on the drive, missing, and Grant to Damon, to Ryder on the reverse. No tip in. Walt Williams with a great follow from the other side. 13-9, Trailblazers. Chris Mills open.
Even though Mills makes that shot, this is the pace of the game that the Trailblazers want. The Warriors do not want to be up and down for 48 minutes.
Mills with a 3. Started out with Cleveland, Boston, New York, and this year in the deal for Sprewell over here. Damon coming from the weak side on a pass by Sabonis, screened by Arvidas, and a 3 for Damon Stoudemire. Outstanding teamwork right there by the Trailblazers, and the little guy hits the cracker, and it's 16-11. The Trailblazers with a timeout and 5:04 in the quarter. J.R. Ryder's been something else so far here in the early go.
Ryder came into this ball game feeling very good about himself at the offensive end after a strong effort against the Indiana Pacers, and they said right away, JR, we're going to go to you. He came with the energy and the attitude to make the Warriors pay, and he's done just that here in the first part of the first quarter of play.
It's 16-11. The Blazers with the lead, and the Blazers make a couple of changes. There's Rasheed Wallace wanting to wish his wife Fatima a very happy Valentine's Day. And the Trailblazers with the AT&T Fast Stats, shooting only 38%, but getting some shots, 16. That's good. 16-11, the Blazers with the lead.
Well, they've had, for the most part, they've had high percentage shots, and they're going to be able to take advantage of that. They get a foul against Sabonis. Darnell Marshall trying to come out the other side.
Darnell just snuck in the ball game for them as well. Marshall, who really was their best player at the end of last year, averaging 9 points and 5 rebounds a game so far this year. The Blazers also have brought Wall Street Jimmy in the game, so Jim Jackson and J.R. Ryder in the game at the same time. And they go with a 3-guard set, basically, and Walt Williams has come out. Marshall missing the first free throw. He had a big night against Utah on Friday, Steve.
Well, Marshall, who was a small forward and actually had his best year a year ago after everybody thought he was going to be a bust, is now kind of lost and in between. Sometimes he's going to play the big forward position, and that's going to limit what he can give them. Antoine Jamison is in the ball game, and everyone's trying to figure out who he is since he was so highly thought of coming out of college.
Stoudemire gets in deep, leaves for Rasheed, back iron. And Antoine Jamison, the College Player of the Year and the Wooden Award winner, gets the rebound. Starks with a stop and go against Ryder. Marshall, incidentally, averaged over 15 points a game last year, and Steve talking about his best year. He had a bust-out year. Terry Cummings back to Starks. Cummings getting in the game. The fellow that came in that Sprewell deal. Broken pass inside. Jamison in deep. Sabonis fights for the loose change. And a loose ball foul call on Terry Cummings.
Underneath, the Trailblazers actually were fortunate to get away with not getting burned that time. They were a little slow in reacting to the ball, and that allowed the Warriors a couple of cracks at it. Jamison right at the rim misses the first time, and then underneath, Cummings gets called for the foul.
Well, he's been very aggressive since coming over here. He's had 4 technical fouls and 2 flagrants so far in the first 5 games.
Well, if I was coming to the Warriors from the Knicks, a team that had a chance to do something, I'd be aggressive, I'd be hostile, so I can understand.
Jimmy Jackson, who leads the NBA in field goal shooting percentages, over 63%, just nailed another 3. He's now like 4 for 6 on the 3 ball. And the Blazers lead 19-12. Damon pushing, Damon leaving, Damon to Jackson. Travel with the ball. Traveling violation.
And it was a flying Donyell Marshall that threw Jackson off, and he wanted to put it on the floor, let him go by, shuffle his feet. He doesn't agree with the call, but that's the tempo that the Trailblazers want.
They were visiting with Jerry St. Jean, the general manager of the Warriors, before the game. He said, you know, we would love to still have Jimmy Jackson. We have some cap problems here. We have to do something to try and get this thing moving in the right direction. Otherwise, we'd have re-signed him. Cummings. And Cummings over Sabonis. Cummings has been around a long time, 16 years. He's 6'9", and he took that one over the 7'3" Arvidas. And Cummings reaches in there, and a foul called on the play. And call it on Tony Delk. 0-0. 19-14, Trailblazers 3:01 remaining in the first quarter. Ryder backdooring his man, John Starks, has to come back outside again. And Cummings, coming from the opposite side from the top, got down there to make sure he didn't have the easy hoop. We have a timeout. We're in Oakland. 19-14 Blazers, as well as some pretty interesting players that they're trying to rebuild around. So come on down, plenty of tickets available, and we think you'll enjoy the game.
Muggsy Bogues in the ball game for the Warriors. Chris Mills back in, Starks is down, as well as Tony Delk.
5'3" Muggsy Bogues. They get the ball to Damon and back to Kelvin Cato. Back iron rebound, Stoudemire. Muggsy's right in his tracks. Hugh Hollins, Bill Kennedy, and George Tolliver are the officials working this one. Damon inside says, I want to post up. I got a chance, and Cato comes all the way up and under from the left side to reverse it in. Blazers 21, Warriors 14. And we're back on Will Marshall.
Marshall does that very well. The problem is that that's not the style of play that PJ consistently likes to see. Quick shots coming from his team.
21-16 now. Marshall 6'9", 230. Former #1 fourth pick in the draft.
Rim.
And a beautiful pass, Kelvin Cato. And up goes Rasheed Wallace for the throwdown. 23-16. Marshall on the base. Antoine Jamison back to Marshall. He's got 2 threes. 2 threes for Donyell. And it's 23-19. 6 points for Marshall. Let's go, Walt. Well, we got the foul called on Muggsy Bogues. Muggsy, they thought, many people thought he was done a few years ago. He's had some severe problems with his knee, but you can imagine how good this guy must be at 5'3" to play with all these talented big guys.
11 years in the NBA. He's done more than anyone thought he would ever do. And certainly to have to play with the kind of energy that he has throughout his career, it's going to take his toll at some point. He is a tremendous competitor. It's unfortunate that the style of play that they play here at Golden State doesn't really bring out the best in Muggsy Bogues.
Walt Williams replaces J.R. Ryder, and Damon is at the line. He's got 6. Add 1, 20, let's see, 25-19, the Trailblazers. Over the years, I know you have, Steve, I really enjoy watching this little guy because of what he has to go up against every single night. And they try and write him off every year, but he still hangs in there. As Antoine Jamison comes to the middle, and he's fouled on the play.
Well, when he was playing on a consistent basis as a regular member of the Charlotte Hornets, the knock on the Hornets was you can't win with Muggsy in the playoffs simply because he's not a perimeter player. And, you know, he still has never been a great perimeter player, but what he gave him was a disruptive play and a tempo that was very hard to get.
Won't go for Jamison. The Blazers are at 14 fouls, incidentally, so the next one would put them over the limit. The Warriors just hit that 5-foul mark. And right now, with 1:26 to play, Jamison trying to add another, and not very good. 25-19, Trailblazers. Yeah, the Lakers had a tough one today against Indiana.
I think the Lakers are going to struggle until they get their style of play down. That's a team that needs to consistently be up and down. They need to try to, find a way to keep the tempo and the energy up. Otherwise, they're becoming dominated by Shaquille O'Neal, which is, the obvious thing to do. Marshall with the steal and the finish.
Very aggressive and active, Donyell Marshall. And it's 25-21. You buy into that theory about Kobe and Shaquille having problems, Steve?
There's always going to be problems when you're trying to establish yourself, and Kobe Bryant's trying to do that, but I think if they want to win, not a technical foul against Chris Mills.
Technical foul on a flagrant here against Chris Mills. PJ out in midcourt trying to find out exactly what that was all about. Well, they've got to scramble, and PJ knows it, so he's got his guys playing as aggressively as possible. Stoudemire will go to the line and shoot the technical. He gets it. All three of the Warriors huddle around.
You'll watch as he comes across, and from Tolliver's angle, that was an unnecessary wrap. Watch him just swing, and he ends up hitting the ball, but I'm sure it looked like he wasn't trying to make a play on the ball at the time.
Jimmy Jackson's going to get a pair. Makes on the first. Wall Street, Jimmy's got a 27-21 Blazer lead on the board right now. And he's got 4. Lots of people like this young man's game. Jim Jackson, terrific pickup for Portland, 28-21. Muggsy getting pressure, comes to the side, setting himself up for the trap. We got a foul over here on Damon Stoudemire. Damon waiting for help on that trap as he forced his man to the side. There he is looking for some help. Muggsy with the contact, and so Bogues will go to the line.
Well, what players have to realize is when you're looking for help, you got the sideline as an additional man. All he had to do was just get him turned and keep him going down that sideline. Bogues gets the first, because he can't go out of bounds. As long as you're going to keep him from coming back to the middle of the floor, you've done your job.
Little Muggsy has been a good foul shooter over the years, 90% last year. Damon's tribute to his grandmother that used body art on the arm. And so now it's 28-23. And they'll give it to Stoudemire with the clock ticking down close to the 30-second mark during the first quarter.
Guaranteed at the end of this quarter, PJ is going to say that's too many points. Way too many points to be given up. 28 points in a quarter.
And the Warriors are going to work for a good shot. The game clock and the shot clock are very close to one another, so Bogues is going to take his time and try and set up something in the half court. Now they chase him around, trying to double him up.
What they want him to do is, force a quick outside shot. They do, they might have one more chance. Stoudemire.
He got the shot away from midcourt. No good. And it's 28-23 at the end of one. The Trailblazers lead, and they did it on the fact that they were able to get away 24 shots. Not great shooting, 38%, but there's an encouraging number, Steve. 17 rebounds against the team that, as I mentioned, led the league in boards last year. Greg Anthony is in, replacing Damon Stoudemire with Rasheed Wallace, Jimmy Jackson, Walt Williams, and Kelvin Cato. And the Blazers defensively crouching in combat maneuver position. Trying to get back and maybe sneak up into some passing lanes for some quick steals and set themselves up for the pressure or maybe the trap.
Shot clock is now at 10 as Dampier tries to work inside, couldn't control his own rebound.
Greg Anthony with eyes all over the place. Inside sweet pass, Rasheed Wallace. Anthony, boy, you could see it. He had those eyes traversing right around that bald head. He was really looking for an open man and found it. Beautiful pass. Dampier very close to midcourt and trying to throw it off the body of Kelvin Cato and does. Eric Dampier played in all 82 games for them a year ago. Averaged 32 minutes a game, and
I remember he was the #1 pick of the Pacers. His rookie season, played 1 year there and then was traded and got a chance to play. Missed, and Anthony comes up with the loose ball, and you hear Dunleavy saying, "Go, Walt Williams."
as he scoops to the hoop and the rebound by Dampier. He was the former Classic MVP when he was at Mississippi as a junior. And the Classic played at the Garden. And the Blazers bring it up. Quiet crowd so far. Not had a lot to cheer about as far as the Warriors are concerned.
This is where Wallace can get going. You know, if he just takes his time, and he hasn't really gotten himself set offensively. He's made a couple of dunks, but with the jump shot, he seems to be rushing it just a little bit.
It's 30-23. Just underway in the second. Have a very interesting feature for you at halftime tonight. J.R. Ryder. Hope you enjoy. Cappy to Dampier. Rejected by the SWAT man. Dampier gets it back. Bumps Cato. Cato in place. A foul called on the play. And this will be against Kelvin Cato.
Tough break for Cato because he does a great job of reacting to knock this one away. Jimmy Jackson had it, couldn't control it, and it bounced right back to Dampier.
Warriors have not done well at the foul line. We have them 4 for 9 so far in the game. Blazers, on the other hand, 8 for 8. So Marshall will inbound the ball. Bogues between the circles against Greg Anthony.
The one thing you should always try to do with Muggsy Bogues is challenge him to become a jump shooter. Don't let him find a way to get other people involved in the game.
Dampier. What's a nice ball fake on Cato, and Rasheed coming from the other way. Gets up there, deflects, and there will be a foul called inside. This one goes against Walt Williams. Well, the Blazers shoot 38% and still lead in the first quarter. Pretty good move there by Dampier. A couple of good ones. And then he overlays with that close-up look on the slam cam. Dampier at the line. Rasheed and Cato, one on the lanes. Ready if it comes out. And this one won't. So Dampier with his third point of the night. They don't have a Donald Foyle, who is a big rebound specialist that they drafted #1 here a year ago. He is out with a sprained ankle. So that's one person that they can't call on, and Dampier's second is out. Greg Anthony with a rebound. Out of the corner, Walt Williams. He's got a three. Put the radar on that baby. And the Blazers now with a 33-24 lead by 9. Walt with 5. Cappy on the screen away, comes all the way across the lane, tries the open shot. No, kept live by Cato. Got those pogo sticks for wheels. Jackson crossed ahead to Rasheed in the throwdown with Muggsy, the only one back in transition in time. 35-24. Blazer lead 11. Big time jam there by Rasheed Wallace.
That is a perfect pass, and Jackson spotted him out on the wing, and that'll make a big man run and continue to run all night long. 9 on the shot clock. Cappy. Nice
little jump up by Cappy. Took it to the base where you have a tough time getting to him, and Cappy has got 6. There's 35-26 Trailblazers. Walt Williams got 3 more. So Walt's got himself back-to-back trades. And it's 38-26. 8 points for Walter. Wiz is putting his touch on it now as they cross screen on the base, and they bring Chris Mills to the ball side. They give it in deep to Dampier. On Cato, can't work it. Back to Marshall, open on the right side. High! He's got his 33. Wow. 38-29, Trailblazers, 11 for Marshall. McCaffrey, Marshall, Dampier, Mills, and Muggsy out there. Their front line's probably as big as they can go unless they would have put in a Felton Spencer. He doesn't play a lot. Cato rejected and a foul called for Jason Caffey. So a foul and a timeout call. It's the Blazers 38 and the Warriors 29. Discharge. The Celtics, the Mavericks, the Nuggets. We got a big week of basketball at the Rose Garden. And Kelvin Cato will go to the foul line. Lakers lose to the Pacers today, 101-99. The Bucks beaten by the Magic, 85-82. Kelvin takes the first free throw. The Mavericks lose to the Grizzlies today. The Grizzlies played well, and the Mavs are in Portland tomorrow night.
Cato is all lathered up. That shows a real sign of activity on his part in a short period of time. He's been very active, knocks down a pair of free throws.
And Kelvin has got 4 points for the ball. No, 8 points for the game. Make that 4, excuse me. Muggsy will bring it up under a little pressure there by Greg Anthony. On the switch up top, they played Starks on the come around, and they go right back to Muggsy.
And they fight the shot clock. This is the only thing that's been helping them out here in the second quarter is some sort of violation or the referee's whistle. That shot clock was down to 7, and the Warriors weren't aware of where the clock was. They were trying to drop the ball inside.
Blazers defense has really been exceptional in certain intervals so far this year. And again, they defend, they make it tough on you to get the easy shots. Jimmy Jackson, Ryan Grant, Greg Anthony, Bogues gets open. And that ball hangs on the lip of the rim. Walt Williams and Kelvin Cato, they're the 5 for the Blazers out there. Little Muggsy defends on the ball with Jackson trying to free up on Starks. Cummings defending Ryan Grant.
That's some confusion. They wanted to pick and roll, trying to find Grant inside. They never really got it set up.
Nice ball movement. Greg Anthony open. Ryan Grant trying to keep it. Deflected out of bounds. It'll come back to the Trailblazers. Steve, the 76ers get a nice win today. They're 4-1, 78-71 over Atlanta.
You know, the 76ers are a very young and aggressive team. Iverson finally got hot, 46, and I think he had 36 this afternoon, so they're getting that belief.
On the overrule, they give the ball back to Golden State. Muggsy gets pressure from Anthony. Anthony staying right with the little guy.
See, the idea in pressure is to use the sideline as an extra man. You'll hear Dunleavy telling his guys, turn them, keep them out of the middle. And what they've been able to do once they turn toward the middle is react to the ball.
We'll have a timeout. Warriors will have it with 7 seconds on the way back and trailing. And let's blaze him, J.R. Ryder, some of his friends from the Oakland area, where he hails from. And the AT&T Fast Stats will tell you the Blazers doing a solid job on the boards. 3-point shooting good also, 50%, 4 of 8.
7 seconds on the shot clock.
And Starks is going to be forced to shoot one. No, back to Bogues, who's open, and he gets it at the horn.
Right. If they are having to make shots against the clock every single time down, the Trailblazers will win this game easily. All of those desperation shots are not going to go in. That's going to give Portland a chance to rebound and run. Walt Williams.
On a terrific screen by Sabonis, and he couldn't make it go. Here comes Bogues on the push-up. Slaloms by the crowd, pings it inside, tries to get to Dampier, couldn't hang on. Muggsy with a reload. Inside, Jamison, jump hook, no! And a rebound out of there will be coming out to Anthony. And Ryder on the post-up. And on the bailout for Starks. The Blazers get 2 more. And it's 42-33 Portland with less than 6 to play here in the first half. And our feature tonight on J.R. Ryder. 9 points for J.R. Starks missing. Dampier. He's had problems with turnovers. He had 4 in one game in 2 minutes and 26 seconds recently. And he hangs on to that loose ball. Bogues, nice fake and a drive. Leave it off here to Jamison. Kept live by Brian Grant. Over here to Arvydas Sabonis. Ryder brings it up. Tries to put the metal to the floor and turns it over. Came all the way underneath and cut the ball.
They don't call it very often, but every now and then they do. And for the Trailblazers, in a breaking situation, they said, why now? Jamison out of the ball game. He is struggling, and he's not happy to come out, but he can't seem to find his way in the early part of the season. He doesn't have one offensive weapon that he can call on consistently, so he's struggling to find ways to score.
Cummings and Mills. The New York connection, 2/3 of them anyway. Cummings right there in the middle of the lane has got a pair. Boy, here's another guy that keeps on playing the game and giving you some production. A lot of folks had him checked off about 3 years ago, and here he is still in there. Anthony, and as Sabonis tries to keep the ball in play, the ball will come back to Golden State. Jason Caffey coming back in the ball game. Traded here last February, made a real strong finish, and Dampier, who's looking for the big contract at the end of this, his 3rd year, will go out of the ball game. (42-35), the Trailblazers with the lead. Starks.
Starks is having trouble handling the ball, and he hasn't gotten his rhythm. He's streaky from the perimeter, but hasn't been able to get in. It's Cummings against the clock.
Boy, they're having to take a lot of shots right down to the end of the clock, and Terry Cummings looks skyward. Yes, he's an ordained Pentecostal minister, so he knows how to give thanks. 42-38 now. The Warriors within 4, and immediately they try and coast Ryder and Dew. Ryder's shot skims off the right side to Chris Mills. And Bogues will walk it between the rings with about 4 to play in the half. Anthony on the little guy. Starks. Tipped out of there by Jimmy Jackson, a former Warrior. Anthony will bring it over. Anthony will have it stripped and off his leg and out of bounds, back to Golden State. As is the case so many times, once in a while you play to the level of the competition, and it's sometimes hard to get untracked. And the Blazers have had some moments in this game, but then they struggle at other times. We have a timeout. Timeout with 3:52 to play in the half. It's 42-38, Portland. And who knows, maybe we'll see you down in the game in the near future. We hope so. Terry Cummings, Muggsy Bogues, Jason Caffey, Chris Mills, and John Starks for them, and Damon Stoudemire coming back here for the Trailblazers with Ryder, Arvydas Sabonis, Brian Grant, and Jimmy Jackson. And again, Mike Dunleavy able to mix and match those combinations like a master chef tonight.
Warriors make a mistake, bring more people down to this end, which makes it easy for the Trailblazer press to be more effective. So they've got all 5 of their players on this side of center court.
Yeah, and nobody told them to get back to the other side. Give them some help. They're breaking a little bit here as Caffey brings it over. Caffey on the curl, comes to the middle. Nice move, but a foul call on the play. And it's Brian Grant, who's got number 3. Brian Grant with 3 fouls will come out. Rasheed Wallace will come right on.
This is another example of the Trailblazers' depth and versatility. You remember in Vancouver when Walt Williams just couldn't seem to get in the game. Jimmy Jackson came in, picked things up for them. Grant has not been able to get into this one, same reason. Some tough calls have gone against him. So Rasheed Wallace now has a chance to amp up his game.
Number 34, Chris Mills, to attempt a technical foul.
Technical foul called on the play. Brian Grant got assessed a technical foul, so Mills at the foul line. Brian saying something. That is only the Blazers' 14th foul, so that was not a shooter, but Brian Grant having the last word, but the official says, it's going to cost you $500.
You just gave him one of your Valentine's Day.
A hug? John Starks off the top, and Starks now has cut the lead to 1. Blazers up by 9. It's 42-41. Jackson.
The thing that the Trailblazers have to remember is how they got the lead and just be patient and going back at it. They tried to go back to Ryder, who got them started. They get the call against Stark.
That was a nice setup. Ryder coming from the side away from the ball, flashed to the low box on the left side and called for it. Jackson hit him on the move. He was fouled on the play. And Terry Cummings will go out of the game, and they bring back Danielle Marshall. Marshall and Caffey, along with Mills, Starks, and Bogues for the Warriors.
Here's a guy we haven't heard much from, and that's a bonus, using his height to get the pass.
Yeah, that's 7'3" over 6'9", Steve, so that should happen. Arvidas has got 4. 44-41. Blazers, and a 20-second timeout being called by the Golden State Warriors. Of course, if this wasn't game time and the little guy was close, we could take him to the rebound clinic, couldn't we? Muggsy. Starks with a 2. And it's right back to a one-pointer again, Steve.
But Starks is that kind of player. Streaky, it takes him a little while to find a range, and he's gotten back-to-back shots, so watch him for the next 2:30.
They've outscored the Blazers 14-4 here in the last 4.5 minutes. That's quite a little run by Golden State, a team that has yet to win a game this year. Stoudemire in the base. Splits the D and comes back to Rasheed. Ryder down to Sabonis with a hot pass, and the jump hook is no good, and they've got it. Dell got a hit on the side of Danielle, and he had Rasheed beat on the play, and he couldn't hang on. They've really done a nice job with this building. They rebuilt old former Oakland Alameda kind of Coliseum, now called the Arena in Oakland. Oh, sweet play off the screen. Jackson misses the first and gets the second. Oh, they ran that low pick on the left side, and Jimmy on the curl baseline, and he got the pass from the top, and he was right there. Beautifully done. 46-43. Blazers by 3. John Starks. Caffey. And his quickness as he draws Sabonis out of the hole, and the quickness beat him to the hoop. And Muggsy will head back to the Warriors dressing room.
Well, Muggsy's the guy that helped them get back in the ball game, so they're going to miss him trying to come back to Sabonis. Caffey's going to pick up another foul.
You know, if you're P.J. Carlesimo here, you got a couple things that you can look at as being positive signs. The fact that they've come back, gotten back in the game, and also, Steve, they haven't turned the ball over. They've only turned it over one time here in the first half.
They've been in all of the games that they've lost, but they just haven't. They haven't won it. And you know, I think that this is a team that struggles to score on a consistent basis. They don't have a guy that can take over the game for them at the offensive end, and then they're always playing a very controlled game. So nothing just keeps it easy for them. Starks out of the ball game, Caffey out. Dampier, Cummings back in. So now they go with a big front wall. Cummings, Dampier, and Danielle Marshall.
And the Blazers by 3, excuse me.
Chris Mills will go in the back court with Tony Delk.
Been a very low turnover game here in the first half. Blazers have only had 4 turnovers. Cummings, Blazer lead 3. Inside Dampier and a third on. And now it's 48-47 with a minute and 22. And they're attacking the Blazers right at the rim.
Well, you know, every now and then you're going to get beat whenever you press, but you got to keep it up. The idea is to erode the opponent's confidence, make him nervous and panicky. Pretty soon they're going to start making mistakes for you.
Coming from the weak side, Ryder. Sabonis with the pass. Sabonis challenged now, will take the ball to the rim. And a 24-second violation call. That ball never hit the iron. Arvidas thought he was fouled on the way in, but he gets no help from the official, George Tolliver, who is right there on the play. 5th Blazers turnover of the first half.
This is a second quarter similar to the one that they had in Vancouver. We take one more look. Sabonis was hoping. He just got too far out and couldn't have enough energy to finish. Delk put the Warriors on top.
First lead of the game for Golden State, 49-48, so they've stayed right with it. And we're down under 40 seconds to play. Crossover, Damon. He splashes one for a pair.
But remember the Vancouver game. Same kind of second quarter for the Grizzlies, and then the Trailblazers craft and energy took over in the second half. This team is of a similar nature in that they don't have a big score, quick scoring team.
Tony Delk, another one of those Kentucky guys that are playing in the NBA. This Arvidas trying to get it out, and he is fouled in the backcourt. Boy, Arvidas is getting frustrated. Every time he goes to that mouthpiece, you think he's going to throw it up into the 15th row. But he'll walk to the other end instead, see if he can throw the ball in the hoop.
the question he always asks is, why? Why? Now watch him get the rebound, and he'll get smacked, and why?
The hands extended out and the palm skyward. And the big man has got himself another free throw, and the Blazers so far in the first half flawless at the line. Cummings comes out of there. Ryder's got the last foul. That is his second. Greg Anthony will come into the ball game. Defensively, the Blazers will try and hold the Warriors in the last 11 seconds as Rasheed comes out. So Jackson, Stoudemire, Sabonis, Anthony, and Ryder out to defend. And Stoudemire tries to get the rebound off his hand.
Oh, Delk.
They say Delk touched it last. 9.7 seconds remaining here in the first half. And the Blazers will take their 22nd timeout. (51-49) is our score. 9.7 seconds remaining in the first half. The Warriors take their 20 out near midcourt. PJ, demonstrative as ever.
Still doesn't look that.
Still got the Parsons collar on, though, doesn't he? He's happy when he sits down at a table with about 22 people, and he's sitting at the head of the table and ordering dinner. That's when he's happy. Plenty of smiles. He's on the floor, for goodness sakes. The officials are asking now, this table, if the Blazers had a sub. The Blazers did make a sub, so that means that Golden State can do likewise. 1 for 1 in this situation. Starts out, Dwayne Farrell comes in. The Blazers bring Walt Williams into their lineup. Stoudemire, nice little pass to Sabonis, and he throws it in. And that is a good way to end the first half for the Trailblazers. 53-49, 2.5 seconds remaining. Chris Mills from behind half court. And that'll end the first half. Don't forget, at halftime tonight, our feature is on J.R. Ryder. We think you'll enjoy. It's 53-49.
Ryder's flushed out season. There are some who think it's either now or never.
At guard, number 34, Isaiah J.R. Ryder.
Go to the source and he'll tell you. J.R. Ryder is determined. He's happy, and he's hungry to make this a season to remember.
I have a lot more game than people give me credit for, and also I have a lot more game than what I've showed. You know what I mean? And I think from a personal standpoint and from my heart, it definitely could be a bust-out year. I definitely should prove a lot of things, and definitely should get back to my athleticism.
But Ryder knows the challenge is off the court as well. Zero tolerance for the controversy or suspensions that have plagued him in the past.
We have a stacked, loaded team. Things aren't always going to go my way or certain people's way, and I have to realize that. But I have to be a man and be bigger than the situation and be bigger than selfish reasons and do the right thing. I don't want to be disruptive, and it's important for me to be a leader and be looked up to on this team rather than looked down.
You say you want to get cute. You want to turn up your head. You say you want to get cute. You want to turn up your head.
If I'm a real man, if I'm a real person, and if I look at all the cards on the table, I think I know what choices to make. I know what mistakes not to make from my past. I'm a person that's learned from my past. I mean, period.
Many know this gifted athlete has won in the eye of the storm. But how many of us know the man who quietly and kindly reaches out?
I'm in a position to help a lot of people. So when I can and where I can, I help them. I help those that really need it, though. I don't really, personal friends, they can't come to me and ask me for thousands or whatever. I mean, but kids, the right kid could, you know what I mean?
The many sides of J.R. Ryder. Bet you didn't know about his 3-year-old record label, Ryder Records. Yep, it's up and running again, and artists are knocking at the door.
unless I find a girl group, R&B, of 3 people, young, very beautiful, I don't have any risk.
Don't look for Ryder to be singing for his supper, but some on-camera gigs may be in the works. Take it away, Isaiah.
Thank you, Sean. Stephen Eddy will be right back.
Stoudemire is the only player in double figures. Daniel Marshall off the bench with a couple of threes is leading the Golden State Warriors.
All right, we've got ready for the third quarter. It's 53-49 Trailblazers. At the arena in Oakland, scores of other games on the bottom of your screen as we get rolling here. The Blazers with the same starting lineup as they had starting the ball game, with Damon out on top, Walt Williams, Bryant Grant, and Arvidas in the front line, and J.R. Ryder, the other guard. Backing down now, Chris Mills. Come around Starks. Starks on the 3 ball. It's in and out and in. Perot. Trying to figure out whether it wanted it, and it did. Now it's 53-52. Warriors have had one lead. They've trailed by 12, 38-26. Bryant Grant coming all the way under, and a hot pass from the left side underneath, and a beautiful pass and 2 points for Bryant Grant.
That's the first 2 of the night for Bryant Grant. The Trailblazers have an excellent chance right now to bust it open with this group out on the floor. Delk and Starks are not great ball handlers. You want to put pressure on them and then get them trying to make decisions with Cathy and Dampier and Mills up front.
A 3-point lead just underway. Again, they interchange through the middle of the lane. Here's Starks beating Ryder in the middle, and he gets the hook away.
Remember, when he made the back-to-back jump shots, they said he's a streaky player. Now he's had 4 straight shots go in for him, so now he's feeling it. The torch is in his hand. You can look for Starks to look at the rim a lot more here in the second half.
He has 11 points, 55-54. Blazer lead 1. Walt Williams tries to put it down and dribbles it off the sneaker. Out of bounds it goes. The Warriors trying to put something together with a young team. They've got 6 players on this team that are like 25 or younger. And they're trying to find the right combinations. Here's Starks again. Well, he just opened up in the middle, and the follow by Dampier, and the Blazers not blocking out inside, and the Warriors with their second lead of the game by 1. (56-55). Stoudemire. Steam cellar layup attempt. Knocked out of there by Mills. Starks on the drop lead feed. Delks. Offensive foul will take it away and give it back to the Blazers.
Good hustle back by Grant to get back in the lane, and Delk realizing it's a bigger guy chasing him down. As Starks leaves him the ball early enough, he probably should have tried to come out the other side, but he's going to challenge and push off.
Well, when they made the deal for the 3 fellas from New York, they were hoping that they would impart some wisdom, and they've done that, plus they've added a little ability. They've really helped this club, if you can call 0-5 help, but at least they're really doing some positive things, like that positive 3 by Walt Williams. So Williams with the 3. Walter now has 11 points for the night.
Delk is a scorer, and when you start asking him to make decisions with the ball, you slow him down. They don't get the offensive contribution from him that they could. Starks lost it, but Grant couldn't control it. 8 on the shot clock.
Williams, by the way, with 3 threes so far tonight. Steve said 8 on the clock. They'll set up Chris Mills.
Now they're calling it a kick ball, so they're going to give him a new 24.
They rolled it back. So on the reset, Delk on the come around off a double screen, and Damon fights through the screens. Ball bang loose, picked up, busted play Delk. Rejected this way to John Stark. Walt Williams is all over Delk. Delk trying to drive on Sabonis, and Arvidas goes high to grab. Give it to Damon. Little guy looks to push with a head up. Tries to shoehorn it on the side, and it's knocked away by Cathy. Stark. Arvidas, and gets his own deflection. Blazers lead by 2. 58-56.
And the Blazers cannot stop running. And the tempo of the game is slowed down, and that favors the Warriors just for staying in the game. Portland was doing a good job of running, pushing it. They weren't having this kind of contact. Another turnover as Ryder dribbles that one off his feet. But Tony Delk coming in, Walt Williams reacting, slaps it back.
no real surprise that the Blazers are engaged in a low-scoring game. The Warriors don't score a lot. They set the tempo of the game, at least they try to. They've been giving up about 93 a game, which is pretty good, but they had one game themselves where they only scored 71 points. So these games are usually long and arduous and really not that high a productive game offensively.
But when you're playing a team like the Warriors, you have to do everything you can to create your own kind of energy and pace. So that means you have to work harder at both ends of the floor.
Dampier with 9, and the game is tied. 58-58.
One thing that will help the Warriors is Portland becomes a perimeter shooting team. You know, on a consistent basis, you're going to miss more than you're going to make. The bonus.
That's an errant horn because that ball hit the iron. So Arvidas stayed right with it intelligently and put it in. He's got 11. 11 for number 11. 60-58. The Blazers lead by 2. Now we got a ball game right now. They double on Delk. They swing it free. Oh, boy, there's a shot by Dampier. He needed 8 and he got 10 out of it. And now Ryder on the back down against the smaller Starks. And Dampier coming over to help. Grill cheeses him with a foul call.
I love coaches. I love coaches because the one call that they can always make is illegal. But Sabonis got the rebound. The lane is wide open. A nice little finger roll over the defense of Dampier. But here Dampier guarding no one. And that's what Dunleavy was calling. And he had been standing down in the lane since Ryder had gotten across midcourt.
They call that foul on Starks, and that's number 3. That's their first team foul. Blazers have none here in the third quarter, and Ryder makes the first free throw good. JR with 10. Started out early with a big flurry of points. 7 points right at the beginning of the game. 62-58, the Trailblazers. 7:28 to play in the third.
The guy that they're using to bust the pressure is Jason Caffey. So once the ball is turned back, they want to try to get to Caffey and make him make some decision under pressure. Just don't let him dribble the ball up and then get the Warriors into their set. 9 on the shot clock for Delk.
Side screen by Dampier. Ball slides off the right iron and rebounded by Bryant Grant. Here comes Damon. The little general in the boulevard. Soft shot, no, won't fall for him. Ball bang loose, and here comes Chris Mills. Up the middle, all right hand with this guy as he takes it down the right side and lost the ball out of bounds. It'll come back, and the Blazers lead 62-58. Interesting young team is Dirk Nowitzki, the human rail from Castledale, Sean Bradley. Wow. And Walt Williams will be there, and he's been there tonight, too.
Walt Williams has a deep shot going for him tonight, and he's been able to get wide open. He's also reacted well defensively, and I think one of the keys for Walt is staying out of foul trouble. When he does that, good things happen for Walt and the Trailblazers.
18 on the shot clock with Golden State getting the inbound. Blazers apply some heat, ratchet it down a little bit, and we've got a foul call here on Dampier.
Muggsy Bogues, who has a contusion, somebody stepped on his foot, is back in the ball game, so they wrap some tape around it, and we'll see how long he goes and how quick he is.
Well, he's a tough little customer. 5'3", played at Wake Forest. Remember when he was coming out of high school, Dunbar High in Baltimore, and heralded player going to the college ranks, and a lot of folks said, no, he won't make it, he's too small. Made it there, was a #1 draft pick of the old Washington Bullets. Been around for a long time. Amazing story. Well, Muggsy directing traffic now, and they bring Starks around a double screen. It breaks down, and they solo into the hole to Dampier. Back out to Muggsy. And Dampier getting the rebound. Does a nice job against Arvidas. And inside they go to Mills with a nice little post-up. And the 6'7" small forward puts it home. And it's now 62-60 ball game. Stoudemire. Ryder takes the give, drives Broadway, comes down with a running one-hander. He's got it. 64-60. Blazers. Mills. Walt checks him at the elbow. He hits it anyway.
Right. Again, you want the Warriors quick shooting the ball. The one thing for them tonight, they have been making those medium-range jump shots quickly or against the clock, but eventually that's going to break down for the Warriors. Trailblazers should be able to break away. Looking for Sabonis inside against Dampier.
Mills with 8 points. He made the last boot. Ryder, tough shot, tries to use the glass. Grant trying to get the rebound. Whistle and a foul.
You see still a little gimpy, the taped ankle of Bugsy Bogues.
Ball went out of bounds, no foul. Brian Grant will, however, come out of the game. Wallace, Stoudemire, Walt Williams, Ryder, and Arvydas Sabonis for the Trailblazers. Bogues with Donyell Marshall, John Starks, Dampier, and Chris Mills on the floor for Golden State. Nice to see Franklin Muley, the one-time owner of the Warriors, here in attendance tonight. Rasheed Wallace just coming in, gets the rebound. Stoudemire on the push. Great drive by Damon. Quick drive, and a foul call on the way to the rack. This is on Bugsy Bogues.
Now this is when you know a player sees 2 points. All of a sudden, everything is wide open, and Stoudemire really just opens it up to try to keep the defensive energy on Bogues and the Warriors. And they get a foul. New 24. Jamison in. Cummings in. Dampier and Mills go out.
Antoine Jamison, they feel he's going to be all right. He's just learning his ways in the NBA right now. Ryder. And here Mills the iron, and Jamison will deliver it over here to Bogues. Cummings. Used to be a time when he'd shoot that shot. He's become a pretty much inside type of an offensive player now. And the one-hander by Antoine Jamison is good. Remember, here's a fellow that was a 22-point-per-game scorer at the University of North Carolina last year. 10.5 rebounds a game, College Player of the Year. Came over here in the trade for Vince Carter before the season. Block shot, Jamison on a Sabonis attempt. Marshall in the finger roll, nothing. Try on the reload, and looking to take the lead, can on the foul. 64-64. Kelvin Cato will be coming on for the Blazers along with Wall Street Jimmy Jackson. Jackson, of course, came from the college club that will be at the Rose Garden tomorrow night. Played there with the 3 J's. Jamal Mashburn, Jason Kidd, and Jimmy Jackson. And the first shot by Donyell Marshall is no good. Marshall 73% last year, 70% career, and Arvydas Sabonis will come out of the game. Sabonis tonight with 13 points. Donyell Marshall with 12 points. And it's a 65-64 Golden State lead. Jackson trying to pop Rasheed out for the screen and looks for him on the pick and roll. There he is on the base. Sweet. Terry Cummings tried to get out there and stop it, but when Rasheed gets squared up and gets that shot fully extended, he is tough to stop. He's got 8. 66-65. Nice little fake by Starks. Comes back to the base, and Jackson with a good recovery. Drop lead for Marshall. Marshall with that Rainbow J. Nay. Cummings with a ball fake blocked by Rasheed Wallace. And this foul will go on Rasheed. He didn't get him on top. He must have bodied him.
Wallace went once, twice. He thought he got him the second time as he spiked it out of there.
That's his first foul of the ball game, and the Trailblazers now have 2 team fouls here in the third with 3:28 to play, and Mills is going to come back on the floor. Starks will come out. Well, PJ using his bench rather freely here as he moves people in and out, trying to keep them fresh. Dapper as always.
You didn't say that when he was in court.
Yeah, well, I thought the collars got a little bit on it. 66-66. Maybe a guy with one collar turned up every now and then, just to let me know that he's got a little sweat in the game. And as Stoudemire lost the handle and then tried to recover, Rasheed Wallace reaches in to try and take the ball away, and he's called for a foul. Damon lost the handle on it. Rasheed tried to stop the transition game, and he is called for a backcourt foul.
Now, they've made some turnovers which have helped the Golden State Warriors, so they want to cut down on the unforced turnovers.
Blazers now with 10 turnovers in the game. Golden State with only 3. Cummings on a high screen. Jackson chasing Mills, back to Cummings. Pretty good elevation on that one, and Stoudemire on the breakout. Ball knocked away from behind by Donyell Marshall and saved by Muggsy Bogues. Sore foot and all. Cummings, Marshall inside. Antoine Jamison, nice block by Rasheed Wallace. Jimmy Jackson on the far side. Jimmy all the way into the corner, and Walt Williams pulls the trigger and doesn't get this one, and the Blazers continue to shoot subpar, 42%. Out of bounds it goes. Who gets the call? They're going to give the ball to Portland, and we will have a timeout. Blazers by action for a while.
A month. You know, he initially thought he was going to be able to get by with that muscle tear. Found out things were getting worse, and his other leg he was beginning to overcompensate. So he's down, and that was the fear that one of the big three would go down. That has been a Band-Aid team for the last 3 years, despite having 3 of the 50 greatest players of all time.
Had them last year also when Clyde was here, so they really had some good ones. Rasheed on the turnaround. Cummings with a rebound away from Stoudemire. Blazers, as you see, turning the ball over almost 3 times more so far than Golden State, 11-4. 66-66 all tied. Barkley had a great comment when Stanley Roberts joined the team and he walked in the locker room. Barkley said, you know, Stanley, you could become a great player if you just learned 2 words. Cummings hits it. And those 2 words are, I'm full. Leave it to Charles, huh? It is 68-66 Golden State. Stoudemire. Walt Williams spotting up, straddling the 3-line, driving, one-hand runner. Kept live, tipped around Kelvin Cato on the trampoline, and there'll be a foul call back here.
Cato thought he was going to be able to step in, get a charge, and Walt Williams. And they end up calling a foul against the Trailblazers. Walt Williams on the drive, one of the few attempts he's had, back iron, and the Golden State Warriors get it. Marshall, who likes to lead and bust out quickly.
There's the drive again, and Waller just a little bit off the mark. Of course, on nights when those go, you look like heroes. Right now, the Blazers trying to get over the 40% mark on field goal shooting. Walt Williams with 3 fouls. Ryder has come in the game. Ryder and Damon Stoudemire with Cato, Jackson, and Rasheed. And the follow attempt by Jamison off the miss by Cummings, and the outlet lead to Jimmy Jackson. Jimmy put it down, stolen by Bogues. The little guy tied up by Damon. All over, we got a scrum going. And a timeout called by Golden State, and the little guy continues to hustle.
You can see how good he is defensively. He reaches around one way, comes back, steals the ball, and then he's calling timeout as soon as it hits the floor. Warriors get a 20-second.
He's inspirational. And so on the 20, Blazers down by a pair. Less than a minute to play in the third. And time starting to run out. Portland still looking to make a good push. They led by as many as 12 early on, 38-26. And the Warriors came back, went ahead by 1 in the first half, and they've kind of yo-yoed around here in the third quarter. The Warriors have not been devoid of talent. Mike Dunleavy is as aware of that as anybody, but they've had good people come through this franchise. Chris Webber, Tim Hardaway, Penny Hardaway, in fact, at one point was a product of, was property of the Warriors. Mitch Richmond, Gigliotta, Owens, even Stilwell, but they slipped through the fingers, and they're having to rebuild with what they've got. On the miss by Marshall. Oh boy, just a little too tall for 6'9" Terry Cummings, and so one of the rare turnovers by the Warriors, and the Blazers bring it up. Final seconds of the third quarter. Double up, force back, drop down and cover. Right.
Here in this third quarter, for the most part, the Trailblazers have not really had a good idea where they wanted to attack, so some of the shots have hurt them. Jamison on the fly.
Misses it. And Cater with a rebound. Tap. There was a foul. There was no call. Boy, they missed that one. That was an obvious hack. And Chris Mills will gun. Jimmy Jackson will get. And at the end of 3, the Golden State Warriors lead by 2. 68-66.
The one thing is that it indicates that the defense is reacting well to the ball even when they've been beat.
Underway, live action. Trailblazers try and get the shot away. They do. They miss one, and the ball knocked away and out of bounds. Touched last by the Golden State Warriors, so it'll be 22 seconds on the shot clock. You see the quarter-by-quarter statistics. Blazers trail by 2 as we head to this fourth quarter, and both teams shooting at 40%.
Well, a low-scoring quarter for the Trailblazers. They only got 13 points. The Warriors got 19. That's the kind of period that they'd like, but Portland has lost their offensive rhythm and patience, and now they'll have to recover that. Sabonis starts them out with 2.
He's got 13. 68-68, we're tied. We are in the fourth. Heading toward the backstretch with Greg Anthony, Jimmy Jackson, Rasheed Wallace, Ryder, and Arvydas Sabonis on the floor for Portland.
9 on the shot clock as Caffey goes to work.
Blocked by Rasheed, another block. Well, that's the way we started the action here in the fourth quarter, showing you blocks, so a little poetic justice there.
And see, here's a matchup that you want to try to exploit going to the basket, and Jackson lays it off. Daniel Marshall is playing in Rasheed Wallace's lap. You want to drive him to the hoop.
Caffey blocked by Arvydas. And a foul call back here.
Number 34, Chris Mills.
It'll be on Chris Mills. So that's a good foul because that nullifies an opportunity for a breakaway pair. So Mills gets the foul. That'll be number 1 on Golden State and number 1 on Chris Mills. Greg Anthony, we have not seen the entire complement of Blazers here tonight. Mike Dunleavy, we haven't seen Stacey Altman in this game, as a matter of fact. Crotty, O'Neal, Carlos Rogers, or Bonzi Wells. As Rasheed Wallace gets a couple to go. Bonzi Wells is not capable of playing tonight anyway, is he, Steve? I think he's got a turned ankle.
Sprained ankle. He sprained it yesterday in practice, so he wasn't expected to play today at all.
Inside to the box to go to Dampier. His team down by a deuce. Swing it out to Marshall. Marshall had been hot on the 3, but not this time as he takes the long 2 and doesn't get it. Dampier trying to go to Bogues, and a rare turnover, but as I mentioned, Dampier's had turnover problems. He's been prone. 4 in a 2-minute and 26-second stretch in a recent game. Jimmy, nice pass, Arvydas. Down deep in the land of the Giants, and he lays it over.
See, that's what Jackson could do against the defense of Marshall. He can get in, make Dampier react, give it to somebody else, or score it himself.
72-68, Trailblazers, 6 straight points. Bogues. They had a run of 14-4 to get them back in the game after they were down by 12. And a little jabbing, hook check foul by Jimmy Jackson. Timeout call, 72-68 Blazers. He's running the point. Very interesting acquisition that they made a year ago from Phoenix. A fun guy to watch. You'll have an opportunity to see Nash and the rest of that crew. Ex-Blazer Robert Pack is his backup. And they come to the Rose Garden tomorrow night. So call TCI or your local cable company and sign up. Blazer pay-per-view. Steve, 72-68 here with 9.5 to play.
Well, the Warriors have struggled here at the top. The Portland Trailblazers getting some direction from Jim Jackson out there, been able to get themselves going here at the offensive end. Now they have to sustain it. Jamison trying to come inside.
Hit it all with a crossover between the legs and the banker off the glass, and it's a 2-point game. Mike Dunleavy shaking his head over here as if to say, come on. 4 points for Antoine Jamison. Oh, that's a nice pop out by Rasheed. Comes from the weak side, gathers in near the foul line. Arvydas hits him, and all in one motion just turns and gets that right hand extended and lays it home. 74-70, 12 for Rasheed Wallace. About 11,000 people here tonight to see it as Tony Delk comes down.
That's what Delk can do. He can make shots, and once he gets going, he really starts looking at the rim, and he's a very dangerous guy. What you want to do is keep some heat on him. He's had trouble staying in this game.
He had 16 in the last game. He has 4 tonight. Ryder, someone got a hand up there and got a little piece of the ball, and here with a chance to tie, but Sabonis on the turnover to Jackson. To Ryder out ahead. And the home guy will lay one down, and it's now 76-72. DJ with that look on his face like he just had a bad tackle. Right ahead they come. Cappy. Jamison kept alive. Dampier at 6'11". Challenged by Greg Anthony and Arvydas Sabonis. Sabonis bodies up, knocks the ball away. Got a 3-on-2 goal rush. Anthony. And Anthony traveled with the ball. Greg Anthony gets turnover number 15.
John Starks returns.
Now you remember what Steve's keys were. Don't be overconfident, be aggressive defensively, and rebound. And they've figured in prominently all night long. Timeout, 76-72 Blazers. Paul Westhead, been a former head coach in the NBA, a well-known college coach. He's now one of PJ's assistant coaches with Rod Higgins and Bob Starks. Tony Delk, out ahead they go to Cappy. Cappy defended by Rasheed Wallace. He has size there. Delk being played by Greg Anthony on the pick and slip inside, and a traveling violation on Eric Dampier.
And that was caused by the defense of Rasheed Wallace stepping over, surprised Dampier, couldn't get himself set, turnover. Now, those are the kinds of plays that get players taken out when you're coached by P.J. Carlucci. He's taken a couple players out here very quickly for mistakes. And that's one of the things that has the Warriors struggling in terms of how can they stay in the game and build some confidence.
Wallace on the back down against Cappy. Originally drafted by the Chicago Bulls in the deep jump hook along the right base. Delk outlet pass to Jamison. Flies to the rack over Jimmy Jackson. Picked up by Starks. Won't go. Foul by Arvydas Sabonis. So Sabonis coming from behind in transition, trying to get back to cover, gets his second.
Well, they beat the Trailblazers down, and this one wildly comes off the rim, and he realizes nobody's going to get to John Starks, gets him across the arm, and Starks has a pair.
John averaging 15.5 points a game coming in, 13 with the Knicks. Arvydas with 2 fouls so far tonight. A lot of folks said that he may have lost some of the fire, some of the passion last year. They didn't feel like he was the same kind of spirited fellow that he'd been in years past, and they pointed out it as an example, the fact that during that final series against Indiana, that he took his golf clubs on the trip during the playoff, and they said that wasn't John Starks, and they figured he might have had his mind on other things. But Starks, to me, always comes to play. He plays hard. Not always the most intelligent, but I've never seen him where he hasn't really given it a pretty good effort. They reload. The Blazers still lead by 3. Starks 1 of 2 at the foul line. Played at Oklahoma State down to Cappy. And Cappy tried to put it down and take it to the back door, and he was fouled on the play on the way in.
All the Trailblazers are looking to find out who's illegal.
Well, that was an illegal D, is what it was.
Turns out to be Ryder.
And, of course, the Blazers, who committed 2 illegal defenses in the first half, now have another one, so the penalty situation or the technical foul situation, and Starks at the line. 77% career shooting. Make one, get it back. Dunleavy. And make sure they're set defensively. I'm sure Mike wanted to use some more of his people tonight, but the Blazers have not been able to get into any kind of a significant lead and hold it. Starks off the downstream, no rebound attempt, and it comes out a little deeper, and Dampier's got it. Delk in the lane, lead for Dampier, rolls it off the palm of his hand, and Arvydas with the outlet to Ryder. Ryder with a trailer behind him, Jackson, scoops to the rack. No tip, no. Rasheed Wallace can't make it.
Good effort by Ryder. Got just a little bit too much out of control and couldn't find the angle that he wanted.
Getting their shots, but they're not falling. Side screen, Dampier, pick and roll. There it is. Partly blocked by Rasheed Wallace. And Ryder challenged by Antoine Jamison. And a foul call back here.
Wallace has been terrific at covering up the goal for the Trailblazers. And like a goalie in hockey, he's been everywhere. See him come flying at Dampier and get a piece of that one. And the foul on Jamison.
And Damon Stoudemire will come in. Walt Williams will also come to the floor. So the Blazers will make a couple of changes. Jimmy Jackson goes out. Who else left? Let's see. You still have Rasheed on the floor along with Ryder and Sabonis, Walt Williams and Stoudemire. Nice play right inside. That should be a goaltending call. Arvidas setting up on the right block, comes to the ball side, and that little spin turn hook.
Jackson and Anthony out of the ballgame.
78-74, the Blazers. Caffey and Bogues. Muggsy trying to set up a play. PJ yelling at him on the back line to run something. Chris Mills with a pop-out jumper. And Arvidas with another rebound. That's 14 rebounds for Arvidas Sabonis.
The Warriors becoming the jump shooting team, and what Portland has got to focus on is trying to push the ball the other way. Stoudemire gets a post, spins against Muggsy Bogues.
And with the left hand on the right side, lays it off the glass for 12 points tonight. And Starks will carry through, hoping the shot would go. It won't, but they'll go to the line for a pair.
Stoudemire on his own, realizing that the baseline is going to be open, will just spin away from the defense of Muggsy Bogues for an easy deuce.
J.R. Ryder second, the Blazers third. Look at John. Puts it in the spin cycle and doesn't quite get it to go.
Well, Ryder saying he was out of control, he had no shot, and there was no contact, but he gets the benefit of the whistle and back on the line. He's the guy that's making the free throws for the Warriors here in the quarter.
We have 5:18 remaining in regulation. And Starks at the line pulls the Warriors within 5. Blazers, incidentally, with 4 timeouts remaining, should they choose, and the Warriors with 3. Blazers also have a 20. The Warriors do not. And Starks just kind of throws a little cotton candy up there, and that baby nestles into the twine like a falling leaf. Just as soft as can be. 80-76, the Trailblazers by 4. Damon. Nice pass again to the big guy, and he's fouled on the way in. Gee, that was a pretty pass.
Well, one thing Sabonis is doing very well, and it's something that Cedric Sabalos does, is hide in the slot. Suddenly, right down there, and the defense isn't reacting to him. He does a nice job of just getting it up to get himself a chance to go to the line.
Steve, while we have a chance here, maybe you'd like to say Happy Valentine to your lovely family back in Portland.
Thank you, Eddie. Happy Valentine.
And they are a lovely group. 80-76 is what we have. And happy Valentine's Day to all of you folks who missed those well wishes early on. And we hope to see you tomorrow night. Arvidas with one of the 2 free throws. He's got 18. 81-76. Now 16 of 18 at the foul line. That's coming. Well, I can tell you, he used to shoot that shot with regularity early on in his career. He has over 18,000 career points. At 12 tonight, we've got a 3-point game, Steve.
Well, the Trailblazers just have to have patience at this end of the floor. The Warriors are going to try to make them shoot the ball quickly and deep. Stoudemire looking for a 3.
Had time, let it go. Warriors lost the ball out of bounds. I believe it comes back to Portland. Well, they're going to give it to Golden State. Mike Dunleavy cannot believe this. And Danielle Marshall will give to Starks, and Starks will get a little pressure from Ryder back here. JR using that footwork that the kids learn in the camps at an early age, and he's called for a foul. Well, that puts him at team foul 4.
Well, Ryder did a good job and then gave up and got himself in trouble when he tried to reach. He was moving his feet. He had to start turn in the direction that he wanted to go, and then he decided he wanted to reach in. Got the foul.
Mills defended by Williams on the inbound. Bogues has got Damon. Starks against Ryder. Now to Mills, defended on the block by Rasheed Wallace. Tough shot, tough angle. Donyell Marshall, he can score. And the one that everyone thought was going to be a bust out has emerged as a pretty good player. Last year and now this year, 81-80 is the score of the game.
Trying to go to Sabonis against Terry Cummings.
And Cummings with a great save to Damon Stoudemire. The Blazers look frustrated. Things don't seem to be working too well for him.
Against a team like this, you have to have some patience. You know, you're not going to always be able to create the tempo that you want, but you got to constantly work to move the ball, move people quicker. And there's an example. Twice now the ball has just been kind of laid out there very slowly, and Sabonis is going to have to step to the ball. It's going to have to happen a little bit faster.
So the Blazers now will get the ball on the side out. And with 16 on the shot clock, they inbound with Walt Williams, Rasheed, Stoudemire, Sabonis, and Ryder. Right inside, nice little turn jump hook, and again coming up short, Sabonis. Set up beautifully, he was right there and they couldn't make it. Here's Cummings wide open. And they lead 82-81 with 3:01 to play. And the Blazers will take a timeout. Timeout. 2:56 remaining. 82-81 Golden State. 82-81, the Golden State Warriors are on top. And Brian Grant stepped over the sideline with possession of the ball. So on the turnover,
got to push. Terry Cummings has been the guy, though, that is making the plays here. He made a steal. Then he's come back, made back-to-back hoops, and got away with the push there against Grant. The Warriors had the ball back.
And the Warriors have done a good job in the second half of coming back on the boards, and they've now almost evened the board battle. And Dampier with 14 rebounds, 11 offensive. He's not in there right now. Cummings back to Bogues. Cummings. 3 big shots by Terry Cummings here down the stretch. He hit the go-ahead hoop to make it 82-81, and now he's got this one, and he's got 16, which equaled his performance in the last game. Brian Grant. And the follow by Rasheed Wallace. And it's 84-83 as we get to the 2:17 mark. And both teams with timeouts to take. Rasheed with 14 points.
The Warriors were able to slow the Trailblazers down, get the pace the way that they liked it, and now they're looking to Terry Cummings to try to finish this one out and get their first win. 9 on the shot clock.
Cummings sets the screen, looks for the pick and roll. He's got a hot hand. He's going to drive to the basket this time, and he will draw the foul. Blazers reaching, and a foul called on the play, and this one will be called on Damon Stoudemire, sinking back to help out. 84-83, Warriors by 1. Cummings at the foul line, 71% foul shooter career, 68% last year. He's always done pretty well against the Trailblazers, averaging 16 points a game throughout his career. And he makes the first. Arvidas on the Blazers bench. They've tested him inside pretty good. Carlos Rogers sitting next to him. 1:56 remaining in regulation. Warriors lead by 2. Now 3. Cummings has made the last 6 points for this play.
Well, for Stoudemire and the Trailblazers, it's 2 at a time. Be patient about getting them. Wallace again. Nice medium range shot for him. He's got 8 1/4, matching the Cummings total.
And it's a 1-point Warriors lead with 1:44 remaining, and Rasheed with 16 points. Mavs at home tomorrow night. Be a fun night. Come on down. Tickets available. 86-85, the Warriors over the Blazers.
7 on the shot clock.
Clock ticking to 4. Chris Mills, good defense. Marshall out of the corner. Airmail, not in time, a 24-second violation. Excellent defense when they needed it most. And the Blazers now get possession with 1:20 remaining.
Timeout coming up.
And a timeout coming. 1:20 remaining. 86-85, Golden State. Here tomorrow night, Steve Nash, A.C. Green, Dirk Nowitzki, Sean Bradley, Michael Finley. Boy, they don't come much better than him. And we come back now with 1:21 to play in this one, and the Blazers with possession. Sabonis, some numbers on him. And he's going to get a call right now from Coach Mike Dunleavy, and they're going to bring Brian Grant out of the game. So it'll be Stoudemire, Sabonis, Rasheed Wallace, J.R. Ryder, and Walt Williams. Starks and Bogues, Cummings, Marshall, and Mills for Golden State.
Well, they have plenty of time to think about what they want to do and how they want to run this play. Let's watch the execution from Stoudemire and the Trailblazers to try to get the go-ahead bucket.
Block shot by Cummings. What hasn't he done here in the fourth quarter? And Damon falls down after he was picked by John Starks. Cummings played out here along the side by Arvidas. We're under a minute now. Back to Cummings, who's had the hot hand. They double over on him because they know he's hot.
9 on the shot clock. They're going to make Bogues beat him.
Tapped loose by Golden State. Saved by Bogues. A great save, and they rotate the clock. What a terrific save by Bogues. And Golden State will take a timeout. Now the Blazers have 2 in the 20, and Golden State has 2 remaining. And they lead by 1 with 34.9 remaining. The boys that came over in the trade from New York have made a contribution tonight.
You know, in trying to help Muggsy Bogues get free, John Starks comes back and nails Damon Stoudemire with a blind pick. And that set things off to where the Warriors were able to get down, get set up, get a shot away, recover, and now they have 34.9 seconds to go. They're trying to get their first win. Stacey Augmon in the ball game for the first time.
Blazers 2 in the 20. They have 2. You saw it on the reset. Mills to Starks, played by Ryder.
There's plenty of time here for the Trailblazers. Again, what they want to do is play good defense, make this shot come over the top. Starks
took the big shot. Grant's got it. There should be no foul. And now the Blazers will take a timeout. Will it be a 20 or will it be a full? They've got 2 and a 20.
Full timeout.
And Hugh Hollins is saying, what do you want, a 20 or a full? And Mike Dunleavy's taking his time. And he's over there telling him, I think that he wants to take the full. 86-85. Blazers still have a timeout and a 20 if they decide to use it. Cummings, incidentally, with 8 points, has not missed a field goal here in the fourth quarter.
The guy that's carried the Trailblazers here in the fourth quarter has been Rasheed Wallace. He's got 8 points as well. He's got Danielle Marshall on him. That medium range jump shot that they get for him at the free throw line, that will be available should Portland want to use it.
Clock is running. 13 seconds remaining. High screen on the pick and roll. Wallace takes a deep shot, misses it. Arvidas Sabonis gets it in the crowd. Fouled on the play with 4.8 seconds remaining. Arvidas Sabonis will go to the foul line.
Dunleavy was going for the win. And TJ Carlissimo is pulling his hair out as Sabonis will go to the line. Coming back in, Starks reaches in. So Sabonis has 2 to tie.
Both teams over the foul limit. Got no fouls to give. Arvidas, tie game. 86-86. 4.8 seconds remaining. And PJ talking timeout. He has 2 timeouts remaining, no 20. Blazers 1 and a 20. It's hard, you can see it. And so with a tie ball game at 86-86, the Blazers hoping upon hopes to ratchet down the defense here and get this ball back or take it to overtime.
This has been an example of the year that the Golden State Warriors have had. Play close, look like they have a chance to win ball games and end up losing in overtime to the opponent. And PJ is trying to find a way right now to get the team his first win. What Portland needs to do on this possession is make sure they're going to bring the ball to half court. Make sure that you have pressure on the passer, and then make sure that the shot comes over the top and you're ready to get the rebound.
Steve mentioned Rasheed Wallace's contribution here in the fourth quarter. Good enough that we ought to give him a look. He has been terrific here in the fourth.
Wallace is a reluctant offensive player, but a very efficient one. Moves well without the ball, above the rim that time for Wallace. Anytime he can spin and get away, he's going to create some problems for his defense. Good medium-range jump shooter as well. And whenever he gets a chance to look at the basket, he's going to have a very good chance of knocking it down.
Incidentally, Arvydas Sabonis, 19 points, 15 rebounds. Rasheed Wallace, 16 points and 7 rebounds. And over 50%, or just under 50% from the floor. Steve, what do you do here if you're Golden State? Do you try and drive to the basket, draw a foul, and get to the line, or do you settle for...
Well, the rule of thumb is a tie ball game, okay? They can hold for the last shot. They know what they want to get there at home. So what they want to do is make sure that they get a shot in the air, give themselves a chance to win the ball game. For the Trailblazers, you want to make that shot come up over the top of the defense, and you don't want to foul on a deep shot.
All right, Greg Anthony on Bogue. Stacey Augmon in on Mills, will inbound midcourt. Marshall on the right side of the circle against Wallace. Stark is on the low block against Ryder. And you've got Cummings, who tried to cross screen and then gets the ball on the retreat from Grant, threw the ball away and out of bounds. And was it off of Golden State, or was it...
Cummings threw it right by the ear of Chris Mills, and it's a turnover. Give Portland a chance to steal one here.
Jimmy Jackson will inbound the ball on the Blazers side of the half-court mark. Now they're going to allow him to step over the line on the Golden State side with Sabonis, Rasheed, Ryder, and Damon in that order. They had the tall Denver stacked up parallel to the foul line, then they break it loose. And
delay of game.
A delay of game called against Golden State.
Warriors have played a double overtime game so far this year. They ended up losing it to Dallas 102-99.
Stoudemire with not much time. No foul, no whistle. What do we have? We have overtime. Yeah, I think it's important to note that Golden State lost the first 2 games of the season on inbound plays, the same as the turnover play we just saw, and the Blazers couldn't take advantage. At the end of regulation, 86-86. Overtime tonight. The Trailblazers did not win an overtime game last year, and the Warriors have lost their one overtime game this year, which was a double overtime. Now remember, in overtime, 5 minutes, you get 3 timeouts, and you get a 20 if you have any left from the second half. Neither team does. And the penalty is shot on the 4th team foul. So the Blazers will come out here with Damon Stoudemire, Walt Williams, J.R. Ryder, Arvydas Sabonis, and Rasheed Wallace. The Warriors will have John Starks, Chris Mills, Jason Caffey, Eric Dampier, who's had a great board night, and Muggsy Bogues. Portland, who enjoyed a 12-point lead early at 38-26, wins the opening tip here in the overtime period.
Again, now you want to move the ball, move people quickly. You're fortunate to get into the overtime. Now have some patience at the offensive end of the floor and make sure that you're getting everything going through the hoop. Coming to Sabonis.
The big guy trying to take that big sweeping hook coming to the middle. They set it up and he got it. And Arvydas now with 21 points for the night. Blazers score the first 2 in OT, 88-86. Bogues tattoos the dribble and works along the left to Caffey.
Strange, no Cummings, as he was the guy that got him here. They come back with a whole different group of players, and this is almost the starting lineup starts for 3.
And he had 2 seconds left on the shot clock. Oh, again, the Blazers defending well, but right down at the nub, they get the shot to go.
Trying to post Muggsy Bogues.
That's a 3, so the Warriors lead by 1, 89-88. Damon puts it up wildly, tried to get it over the crowd. He had Rasheed coming in on the right side and couldn't get it to him. And now the Blazers, trailing by 1, will drop back and defend. Bogues. Starks. Look for the pick and roll, not there. Caffey is inside. No, and the rebound by Arvydas Sabonis. 18 rebounds for the big guy. And Walt Williams trying to drive middle and lays it off to the trailer on the play who wasn't there, Ryder.
Well, Walt Williams should be thinking shot at that point. Get into that medium range area. Let Ryder, who he saw, try to get the rebound should there be a miss.
That's the 18th turnover of the night for the Trailblazers. And here's Starks again. And Arvydas with another rebound. Pushing this Stoudemire. Williams trailing on the right, Ryder on the left. Now Damon tells JR to go inside and I'll get you the ball. Williams is well inside and is fouled on the play. Boy, he lowered the shoulder and the head and right into the chest of John Starks, and that was that. Now let's see what Starks has got. That's number 5 on him.
But, you know, when JR does this, he's a very difficult guy to defend. Because of his strength and the power that he plays with, he has a chance to tie the ball game up with this free throw.
Tie ball game on the strength of Ryder's 16th point of the night.
Sabonis comes out, Grant comes in, Cummings is back in the ball game, Marshall as well.
Jason Caffey goes out for them. So they've got Marshall and Mills with Cummings up front, Starks and Bogues the guard line. Remember at the beginning of the game we said tread with caution on this one. And the Blazers now with a 1-point lead and 2:54 remaining in overtime.
Continue to make the Warriors a jump shooting team and rebound the ball, try to look for a quick push when you get the rebound.
Cummings, that's off. And the Blazers have it, and that's J.R. Ryder. Head up on the dribble, looking to who he can pass to, and there he is, Brian Grant. Ryder against Mills. Deep ball. Brian Grant can't get it. Mills over his back. Bugs almost traveled with the ball. And now Bogues with the ball, and his team down by 1.
Now, a lot of Warriors don't want to shoot now as Wallace gets up. Very aggressive on Marshall in the corner, picks up the foul.
His third, Blazers first in the overtime period.
But they had him in the corner against the clock, and they were going to have to hoist up another deep shot. So don't bail them out by reaching in trying to make a steal, even though you feel that you got that guy in a little bit of a panicky state.
And it runs Starks off that screen by Cummings. Cummings again sets the high screen. Starks swing it over to Bogues. Into the corner they go. Nice fake, and here's Chris Mills. And Rasheed Wallace with a huge rebound. Wallace has got a bundle. He's got 8. Damon in the crowd. Lays it up. Good! And he's fouled on the play. Damon Stoudemire takes it down there amongst the tall timber and lays it high off the glass and is fouled on the play.
But it's been a while since Damon really had an open court to work with, a little crossover and a little juice coming to the hoop, and he'll have one. So Portland now has a chance to push it to a 4-point advantage.
Starks
out of the ball game.
He's done, Steve. 147 remaining. And the Blazers leading at 92-89. Starks has fouled out. They've got Mills, Cummings, Marshall, Caffey, and Bogues.
And Mills goes into the backcourt.
Big 3-point play for Damon.
Timeout.
And a timeout called by Oregon State. Timeout. 93-89 with 1:47 to play in overtime. We want to bring you up with our BP move of the game in this last play here by Stoudemire. The crossover, Steve, the foul, and the three-point play.
What really was key in him making that move was recognized, and he had a chance to get to the rim. He hasn't had that opportunity through much of the second half. Finally got some space to work with, danced around Bogues, giving the Trailblazers breathing room here, but they've got to continue to do what they've been doing defensively. Make the Warriors work against the clock, make the shot come over the top of the defense, rebound the ball.
Remember, BP, we keep you moving. Walt Williams, Stoudemire, Rasheed Wallace, and Brian Grant, and J.R. Ryder, the 5 Blazers on the floor. Cummings, Bogues, Donyell Marshall, Caffey, and Mills.
And they're trying to get something inside, so they go back to Cummings.
And on a miss, Ryder with a big rebound. And 1:28 remain, and it's 93-89 Portland. Blazers need to make every trip down count now.
But what you'd like to do is see quick ball movement and quick cuts to the basket. That puts a lot of pressure on the defense. Grant trying to roll across the middle, can't get it done.
And he shot that with 4 seconds remaining on the shot clock. Here comes Muggsy. Muggsy looking to get some help.
Now Muggsy's not a threat unless he can get all the way to the basket, and that's the way teams playing. Make him shoot the jump shot and knock that one down.
93-91, under a minute to play. Blazers trying to double. Good help on the ball, and they found the open man. Cummings will defend on Grant.
Trying to post Bogues. Get to the ball.
Damon loses possession, and here comes Bogues.
That's what makes him so tough. I mean, even though you got a size advantage, you got to constantly protect the ball. Looking to try. Now, see, this is when they get confused. They don't know where they want to go, but nobody wants to shoot the ball. Coming back to Cummings.
Brian Grant challenging him out along the wing. Here's Mills on the base. Tough shot with 1-0. 24-second violation. A 24-second violation, and some terrific defense by the Blazers again will turn the ball back over with a 2-point lead and 18.8 seconds remaining in the overtime.
Now, if you're the Trailblazers, you don't have to shoot the ball. You got a 2-point advantage. You got 18 seconds left in the ball game. All you want to do is move the ball around and get out with the win. PJ is up there all over the scorekeeper.
18.8. Blazers will take the opportunity while they're discussing to bring Arvydas back in the game.
Ran out of the ball game. Sabonis in. Warriors are going to be trying to make a quick play on the ball for a steal.
They've added some time to the clock, Steve. Almost 2 seconds. 20.9.
Still same situation. 24 seconds, shot clock is dead. The Trailblazers don't have to shoot the ball to win the ball game. It's up to the Golden State Warriors to try to get the ball out of the Trailblazers' hands. They'll foul.
And with 18.3 seconds remaining, David Stoudemire will have to go to the line to see if he can make a couple more. He's made the last 3 points. Remember, it was 86-86 at the end of regulation. PJ barking out some commands to Tony Delk. And now it's 93-91. And Damon at the strike. The Blazers made their first 13 free throws in a row tonight before they missed, and now are 21 of 24 at the line for the game. And Brian Grant, who just came out, will come back in.
And the 1 miss came from Sabonis with a chance to put the Trailblazers on top by 1. Stoudemire trying to give them a 4-point advantage with this free throw.
Didn't get it. So it's a 3-point ball game with plenty of time. Here's Delk. He's going to shoot the 3. He is going to miss the 3. Cummings will try and get down inside. He'll get into the corner. There's Chris Mills. He hit it with 4.0 seconds. 4.0 seconds remaining. And we are tied at 94. 94-94. Walt Williams forces one, and that's going to do it. We're going to go to double overtime. Double OT. And the Warriors have had one of those and lost it this year. The Blazers playing in their first overtime game of the season. 94-94. We will go to an extra 5 minutes. We're back at the arena in Oakland, and we are going to a double overtime. A double overtime here tonight, and we have got a game ahead of us tomorrow night. So the Blazers will have to find some energy for the Mavs. Tickets are available on sale for tomorrow's Mavs game at the Rose Garden. Blazer tickets available at all Ticketmaster locations, or come on down to the Rose Quarter Ticket office and avoid those service charges. The first overtime, well, they could have put it away with a made free throw, as they could have at the end of regulation, but they don't. So we go to the double OT, and Arvydas Sabonis will go against Donyell Marshall. And the Blazers win this tap. So they won all 3 jump balls tonight, and now with Stoudemire and Ryder, Wallace, Sabonis, and Williams on the floor, they'll try and get the job done on the double OT.
They're trying to come to Sabonis as they did and start the game off with him right at the basket, and get a foul against Terry Cummings on the hold.
Remember that Cummings has been the most aggressive Warrior so far this young season. He's had 4 technicals and 2 flagrant fouls called in the games prior to this one tonight. He's not happy with the official, and that scowl will tell you all you need to know.
Well, he's got 5 fouls. What you want to do, he's hurt you, is put him down, come back and attack him, see if you can get him out of the ball game. Sabonis.
And again, Damon trying to get it done over the tall timber, and there'll be a loose ball foul call. It'll be on Rasheed Wallace.
Number 30, Rasheed Wallace, loose ball foul.
Eric Dampier will come in the game. Terry Cummings is pleading his case to George Tolliver, and he'll have to go away with 5 fouls.
Well, PJ's trying to save him. 4:34 to go in the ball game. He knows he's going to need him out on the floor. Bringing Dampier in, trying to get a couple of minutes, maybe have the lead, and put Cummings back out on the floor.
Cummings, the only player really in any serious foul-out trouble. He's got 5. There are several with 3. Mills. Caffey on the post up, trying to take Rasheed deep. He's on the base. Rasheed's got him hung up. They go right back to Caffey. Top shot. Rasheed with excellent defense. Walt Williams climbs the imaginary ladder to draw it out.
What Portland has not been able to do, and they got it when Stoudemire was able to get that quick drive to the basket and get the three-point play, is get quick transition offense. The Warriors have been able to get back, keep Portland shooting over the top. Walt Williams, short.
And the long rebound comes to the Warriors. Remember, John Starks has fouled out of the game for them, so he is not available. Cummings with 5 is in jeopardy. He's on the bench, and the ball game is tied with 3:40 remaining in the second overtime period. Bogues trying to find Dampier. Dampier against Sabonis. Gets help from the top from Stoudemire. Bogues on the drive. Bogues lays it up. No, knocked out of there, and they get it back. The rebound battle has been almost dead even. In fact, it is now 55-55.
Been a lot of missed shots. When you got that many rebounds for both teams, you know that the teams are not shooting a very high percentage. Portland 41% for the game so far. The Warriors just around 38.
And P.J. Carlesimo will call a timeout. It's 94-94, all tied. Hope the fellas have got a little energy left from tonight, this double overtime, with 3:09 remaining in the second overtime.
Look at that. The Warriors have gotten 100 shots up.
Yeah.
15 more than the Trailblazers. Jim Jackson in the ballgame, Walt Williams out.
Years ago, teams would get 100 off every night.
Sits on the shot clock.
Down to 2. Caffey on the force, and Caffey hits. Jason Caffey with a nice, smooth release, and it's 96-94. The Warriors by 2 and 2:52 remaining. High screen, Sabonis. Look for the pick and roll. Lob it inside. Beautiful pass. Well executed. That was textbook. Reverse the ball to the point. And the ball goes down into the hole. Arvydas rolling to the rack. 96-96. Double overtime. Sabonis with 23 points. 17 rebounds. Chris Mills.
Warriors are streaky, and they get back-to-back jumpers to go in. Mills, who tied the ball game up, puts them on top with that one.
Arvydas has played a lot of minutes tonight. 98-96. The Warriors lead by 2. Damon goes back door, lays it up, but he's fouled before he gets there. Terry Cummings with 5 personal fouls will be coming back in the game as soon as he is summoned. And that foul will go against Bogues. He's got 3, and they have 2. Remember, you shoot the penalty on team foul 4 in the overtime. Jimmy Jackson.
Back to Sabonis. Ball was knocked away. They finally get it inside.
17 on the shot clock. Plenty of time. Plenty of time. Banker, no good. Can't get his own missed shot. Does. And a loose ball foul called on Arvidas. A slow whistle by Hugh Hollins. And that is 3 on Arvidas Sabonis. And that'll be 2 on the Blazers here in the second overtime. And we'll see Brian Grant come back in for Portland.
Sabonis trying to get back to it. Picks up the personal foul. Warriors have the ball, trying to get a 4-point advantage.
Bogues in the backcourt has to loop it over the defense at half court. Played by Damon Stoudemire. They stack on the base, interchange along the baseline, cross-screening for one another. Cummings on the back down, looks for Bogues. There's the little man on the penetration. Land of the Giants. Around and out. Tip once, twice. Cummings gets it to go. 196. Golden State.
Well, the Trailblazers need to move with a little bit more sense of urgency now. Clock going against them, down 4. They want to get a quick strike. Stoudemire.
198. Damon Stoudemire. He has 18 points in the game. Closing in on the minute mark.
The Warriors want to use 24 seconds, and their way of thinking, they've got the lead, make Portland make a mistake for them, maybe give them another chance to go up by 4. Foul against Brian Grant. Second team foul in the final 2, so that's a shooter for Terry Cummings.
That's where you go. He's got 4, and as you said, when you get under 2, second team foul, they roll it up. And now you're in the penalty, and the lead is 2, 100-98. Cummings has had a huge night for them. He really has. They've missed 9 free throws, and Terry Cummings with 21 points so far.
Bogues comes out of the ball game, and he really has been the guy that's been able to engineer things for them, keep them going. Timeout, 102 left. The Trailblazers down by 4.
102-98. Can't make it in person. Join us on Blazer Vision. 102-98. It was 86-86 at the end of regulation. We are in the second overtime. And the free throw numbers indicate that the Blazers should have an advantage, but they've missed 2 big free throws, one at the end of regulation they could have won it by Sabonis, and the other at the end of the first overtime by Damon. They could have put it out of reach at 4 points.
Now they bring Delk in to defend against Stoudemire. Again, what the Trailblazers want to do is get a quick strike. They're looking inside of Sabonis against Dampier.
Jimmy Jackson. Good move by Jackson, blocking a foul called against the Golden State Warriors with 49.7 seconds remaining in the second overtime.
Quick opportunity for Jackson. He'll have a chance for a couple of free throws.
A former Warrior, we'll see if he can go back and get his team a little closer. And Jackson's got the Blazers back to within 3. Cummings will come in. Dampier will come out. Brian Grant will come in. Arvidas Sabonis will come out for the Blazers. So you've got Cummings and Cappy, one on the left and the right side of the lane. And Jimmy Jackson makes it a 2-point game. It's 102-100. This is a big defensive possession here.
Well, the Warriors are going to try to use all of the time on this one, so that would put them down around 24 seconds, and if they get the ball back, they would then try to dribble out the clock. Portland wants them to make this shot come over the top, and then everybody's got to be ready to rebound and defend. Delk for 3.
Over the back, the Blazers will get it back. Blazers using that good step out, force back, and then drop back and cover defense to make that man with the ball on the perimeter take it way out. And we have a timeout, Portland. 102-100, Warriors. We are back. The Blazers outscored 16-14 in these 2 overtime periods. They've got 2 to catch and 29.6 seconds to do it. They're down by a pair. Walt Williams, Damon Stoudemire, Rasheed, Arvydas Sabonis, J.R. Rider. Damon with the ball against Tony Dell.
Mike, they want to give themselves a couple of chances to tie the game up. They're trying to squeeze it out and get the ball into Sabonis up high. 12 on the shot clock, Mr. Wallace.
Great little turnaround. He had the shot. They've got the rebound. 9.8 seconds remaining and a quick foul by Arvydas Sabonis. Now they call a timeout. The Warriors call a timeout. No foul. So the Warriors, with 8.1 seconds remaining, have the ball and the lead, 102-100. We are back with 8.1 seconds remaining. Stacey Augmon, Greg Anthony, Damon Stoudemire, Ryder, and Wallace with 8.1, and the Warriors leading by 2. The Blazers need a turnover. They need to get back the ball in their possession.
They're going to try to make a steal if they can't. They should be fouling. This is the guy they should foul, Muggsy Bogues. Instead, it's Terry Cummings.
And 6.9 seconds remain. Cummings with a big game, 22 points. Will go to the foul line. And he's been making some big free throws here tonight. Cummings is 6 for 6 at the foul line so far. 102-100. 6.9 remaining. Blazers will put Rasheed and Anthony on the lanes along with Augmon. Boy, this has been like a tooth pull here tonight, trying to get over the hump. Blazers had control of it early, and then the Warriors fought back on a 14-4 run in the second quarter. And then they just kind of seesawed back and forth in the third and fourth. 86-86 at the end of regulation. Each team scoring 8 times. And the first overtime, and the Warriors now outscoring the Blazers 17-14 in the 2 overtimes and lead by 3. 103-100.
Trailblazers have to be ready to rebound the ball right here. Look for a timeout if they get a miss. Timeout anyway, but they're going to hope that Cummings gives them a chance for a 3. Doesn't.
Well, Terry Cummings, and I correct myself, 7 and 8 at the foul line now. He's missed 1. So, with 6.9, where do we get a 4-point play? 104-100. Going to be tough.
If you're PJ, you should be telling your guys, give them the score. We want possession of the basketball back. But we have seen players do strange things, and we'll find out if someone goes to sleep in white for the Warriors, and somehow Portland comes up with a 4-point play. But it takes 2 scores for Portland to win it. Portland is out of timeouts, the Warriors have 1 left. Been the bus driver for the Golden State Warriors in the second half, and in the overtimes he's been there to come up with the big shots and the big plays to keep them in the ball game or put them on top. And you know, he's a veteran that plays with a good understanding of what his game is and how he can help his team win ball games. He's done all of that this afternoon. He's either shot it, rebounded, blocked it, but he has kept his team right there, and the Warriors now have an opportunity with a 4-point lead to maybe get their first win of the season.
And Cummings has made the last 4 points for the Warriors, all at the foul line. That's a happy group. Looking for their first win of the year. They would be 1-5, and that would avert the kind of start they had last year, which was 0-9 before they broke loose. Worst start in the history of the franchise a year ago. This one, not a good one either. Second worst, but Terry Cummings has been the man, and you can see what he's been able to do for them tonight. 6.9. Walt Williams, Sabonis, Wallace, Damon Stoudemire, J.R. Rider.
Possession is everything for the Golden State Warriors, and the Trailblazers have to have a quick strike. You got to take the first score available, hope then that you can come back, you can make the steal, stop the clock. You shoot a 3 and you don't get it, they're going to run out the clock.
Ryder shove deep. Ryder goes deep. Ryder doesn't get it. 1.3 seconds remaining. And with 4.4 seconds remaining, the Warriors are going to get a win, and Rasheed Wallace will get the foul. PJ, when are you going to smile? 104 to 100. Less than a half second remaining, and Golden State will come away with a win with Caffey at the line. And the Blazers having to head home and playing that young Maverick team tomorrow night at the Garden. Tickets available.
Number 30, Rasheed Wallace has committed his 6th personal foul.
Wallace fouls out. Tatum will come in for the final 4/10 of a second. Jason Caffey at the line.
Caffey with 16 points. He makes the first. Arvidas with 23 points and 17 rebounds, the main man for Portland. And, of course, Terry Cummings with 24 points and 8 rebounds and 7 of 8 at the foul line. The last 4 points prior to these, this one, they make 1 of 2. And Terry Cummings the man for them. So it's all over. Blazers lose in double overtime. 105-100 to Golden State. For the snapper, Steve Jones, I'm Eddie Doucette. So long from Oakland.